So you will have an opportunity to chime in and let me know what you think is a deal or no deal as we go throughout tonight's call. So you make the call, whether it's deal or no deal, and the exit strategy you suggest as we listen to the deal. So we have a lot of content to get into tonight's call. I'm going to dive right in. Again, Andre Johnson here for our Deal Mastery Monday call. Deal or no deal is the training tonight. Deal or no deal is tonight's training. We're going to break down some off-market deals and hear from you in terms of what your thoughts are on the exit strategy. So let's go ahead and dive right in. This deal was presented as an off-market deal. Again, this is an off-market deal that's presented recently to our community, our Deals Meetup community. We're going to listen in, going to stop at certain points and then give you my feedback. And I'm looking for your feedback as well as to whether you think this is a deal, or no deal. And of course, what the exit strategy would be if it's a deal. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right in. We'll show you how you can get in touch with Paul after he gets through the presentation. So go ahead, Paul, run through 429 North Rose.
Yep, super. So it's actually a house that is at the end of the row. So most houses in Baltimore, the center rooms are not bedrooms. If they don't have an egress window, they're not a bedroom. So this one does. And basically, I tore down the wall. It's a huge master bedroom and then a second bedroom upstairs. But the bathroom's been completely redone. There's been a furnace put in with everything's been done with permits, and it's got air conditioning, new kitchen. The basement has been upgraded. It still isn't completely finished, but it's in really good shape, and it's basically 2.5 blocks from Patterson Park. So, which is in this location on Rose Street is probably eight blocks away from Johns Hopkins Hospital.
So let's see if we can put this in.
And I just regret not having any photos available for this right now.
Do you know if there are any photos online like Zillow or Redfin or anything like that, or you're not sure?
I doubt it because, like I said, when I got the house, and it's that one not that one, it's on the other side. But yeah,
what's the address?
429.
429. Let's see if we can pull this over.
It was the first one that I think you were looking at.
Right there?
Not that one with the driveway, but that one there. Yes, that one.
Okay, cool. So that's the property, folks. Did a quick spin around with, Street View. So do you want to talk about the property a little bit more in terms of best exit strategies? Looks like you're asking for 7,300. 73,000, excuse me.
7,300 pesos, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. So, exit strategies.
Yeah, so there's been some sales in pretty close by. Jefferson Street is the house to the north, and then the street to the north is Jefferson Street, and then the street to the south is Orleans. And so basically, I know that there's been some high volume sales or high price sales off of Jefferson and like a block south and a couple of areas. So it's improved a lot in the last I think 5 or 6 years since we've owned it. And there's an opportunity here. The master bedroom, it can be converted back into 2 bedrooms because if you can look at the side of the house, it's basically got an egress window on the side. So about probably 1,800 on the upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, up here, you mean, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's an egress window. So that could be a second bedroom, and then the third bedroom would be facing towards the street, and the first bedroom would be in the back, facing the backyard. And so that's basically. I'm not sure who's interested in this area or this opportunity, but it's rented out by tenants that are pretty current, and it rents for a good price.
Okay. All right. So it's rented for $1,287 a month.
Yes.
Is that right?
Okay. That's correct.
And I don't see designation as to whether the tenant is subsidized or not. Can you give some background on the tenant history and tenant type?
Yeah, they've been there, I think, 1.5 years or maybe almost 2 years. So it's a girl and her mother and 2 kids, and they're just looking for a pretty good spot. because Orleans has there's plenty of buses and traffic and everything else on Orleans, which is, I guess 15 houses south.
Okay.
And so yeah, they've been screened out. There's no issues with them paying. They're not like absolutely current. They're like a month and a half behind, but they've got a good history. They're not going to have any issues.
Okay, good, good, good. All right. So, is there any flexibility with terms on this, or are you
Yeah,
willing to
one
put a
thing
little
that I
paper?
do.
Go
Yeah, one
ahead.
thing I do creatively sometimes is, if somebody's not having the correct amount of funds, if there's an issue with, the price or something like that, what I can do sometimes is, put you know, we can get the price lower and then put in a deed of trust on the remaining amount, and I can do, I normally do like a 6 month loan. I lend money as well, so if if we do like a 6 month loan and I normally lend between 9 and 12%, we'll do something like 8% or something as a courtesy to when somebody wants to go ahead and just get it refinanced. It'll appraise a lot higher with the upstairs. Probably, depending on who does it, it won't cost too much to basically put a wall with a door in place to a room that's a bedroom, which will increase the appraisal value.
Right. By
So
by
anyway,
by
that's
adding the third bedroom is what you're saying, right?
by creating a large master bedroom into what originally it was as a third bedroom. Yeah,
Gotcha.
second and
Okay.
third.
So cool. So, any questions for Paul on this one? If you have any questions, feel free to ask those questions on the Facebook live stream. Again, that would be on Facebook. I'm sorry, on dealsmeetuplive.com. Deals Meetup. Okay, so I wanted to interject here because, of course, we're not streaming live on Facebook right now. Want to go ahead and kind of break this deal down and get feedback in terms of who's thinking this is a deal versus no deal. So we have so far looks like the the wholesaler, the owner actually, who's looking to sell this property. Actually, it's not a wholesaler; he owns the property. So this owner was asking 73,000 for it. Property rents for 1287. You heard him say that the tenant has been current. They are 1 month behind, but he expects them to pay and get current. The property, he purchased the property a couple of years ago. Just a quick check of public records, like he bought it for 70,000 about 4 years ago, and he's looking to sell it for 73,000. He did say that he is willing to do some seller financing. He's also a lender. So, thoughts, questions? Just curious, who thinks this is potentially a deal and why? Looking for your feedback. So, this is an off market deal. Of course, this is a property that's not listed on the NLS. It's an investor that's also a lender. He's also a landlord. He has pitched this deal at a recent deals meetup, actually about 4 or 5 days ago. And let's break it down. Let's talk through this deal. Is who thinks this is a deal? If so, what type of deal is it? Go ahead and throw in the live chat whether you think this is a deal or not. If you want to be unmuted, I can unmute you. Let me see here. Michael, a deal if you can get terms like seller finance. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me see if I can unmute someone here. And let's start with Michael. See if I can unmute Michael. And Michael, I just put a request in to unmute. You can unmute yourself and we'll go ahead and have this discussion.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
Hi Andrew.
Hey Michael, how you doing? So
I'm pretty good.
yeah, so you think this may be a deal if you can get terms like seller financing? The seller did say he's open to seller financing it, that he'd be willing to hold some paper. So first of all, do you think it's a deal? And second of all, what type of seller financing terms do you think would be required to make it a deal?
Well, while you were talking, I was looking at trying to pull up some comps, and the price he was asking for is like what I saw. I saw the property next to it for 428, I believe, sold for the same price. So I think a cash offer wouldn't work in this situation. As far as the seller financing and what kind of terms regarding that. Be honest, I'm not sure, but I think probably that's one of the strategies that we could use to structure a deal.
Yeah, I agree. I think that especially since the owner mentioned that he is open to seller financing, he is a lender. He actually threw out a rate there somewhere. He said I
Yeah.
think around 8% is what he threw out there. It lends itself to at least a discussion of a potential offer with seller financing. So I'm going to go ahead and mute you, Michael. Appreciate you chiming in. So Davis says, what's the ARV? So again, that this is a discussion. Deal or no deal. So you have the address, you have your computer in front of you. What are the comps? Are you doing the research right now as we're going along? When you are doing deal or no deal, you need to come up with, what are the retail comps? What are the highest sales in the area for a property of this type? So you heard the owner say that this is a 2-bedroom because one of the walls was knocked down to make a bigger master bedroom. It could be converted back to a 3-bedroom, but right now it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It could be a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and then it rents for $1,287. So what are you seeing in terms of comps? What are you seeing in terms of sales comps on the high end? What are you seeing in terms of rent comps? If you go to Zillow, for example, you'll see a Zestimate right around 1,200 for rent. A rent Zestimate right around 1,200, which is not too far from what you see there on the screen for the current rent of $1,287. And then, like you heard Michael say, there are some sale comps, right in the 70,000 range. I think there's some a little higher than that. So the question is it a deal or no deal? So anyone else want to chime in? Any thoughts, comments? You can go ahead and throw it in the live chat. I can unmute you as well to get you to chime in. So what are your thoughts? Is it a deal or no deal? Deal or no deal? Let's continue on with the deal presentation and see if there's any other content added from the seller. Live.com. We are streaming there. We have a number of folks watching there live. Do you have any questions? Go ahead and post those questions there. Paul, we want to give your phone number?
Yep, 443-593-9375. 9375. So 443-593-9375.
All right, sounds good. All right, so let me see here. Comment from Stacy. If I was to consider, I think it's in a good area, close to Hopkins. And for those of you not familiar with the Baltimore area, it is a major hospital center in East Baltimore, which provides strong stability, with housing, with jobs, and with home values, because there's been a lot of development from the hospital itself to build up the area. So good for Section 8 and buy and hold potential deal. Okay, so good for so Stacy's looking at it from a rental cash flowing standpoint. We need to research it. 21224. Do remember seeing a flip for 155 in that zip code. So yes, you have to research, of course. Most cities can be a little block by block ish. Baltimore definitely more so than others. But just from a standpoint of taking a look at the numbers from a big picture without diving into them too deeply, let's go ahead and break this down in 3 categories. So again, Andre Johnson here for our Deal Mastery Monday call. We're here tonight doing deal or no deal or no deal discussion. We're looking at real off-market deals. We just looked at a property, 429 North Rose Street. That's in the Baltimore area that was pitched by an owner of the property who's also a lender. Just gave you his information, phone number that you just got there in the replay of the deal. So we help investors. We help new aspiring investors. We help investors that have been doing this for a while to double or triple their portfolio or deal flow after a short time of working with me. So we help thousands of investors and mentor them in starting and building their real estate business. So we can help you to get cash now, cash monthly, or cash later. So what does that mean? Cash now, strategies, like wholesaling, for example, cash monthly strategies, like buying and holding, fixing and holding, burring, cash later strategies like flipping. These are all different types of strategies. and you have to understand the different strategies, how to execute them in order for you to make a deal a deal. So this particular property, like Stacy mentioned, could be a good cash monthly deal. The property is rented at $1,287. The seller is willing to sell it for $73,000. One of the rules of thumb is if you can get a rent amount monthly that is more than 1% of the sales price. So 1% of the sales price would be, $730, since he's asking for 73,000. 1% of that is $730. So typically people go with the 1% rule. If you can get a rent above 1% of the sales price, then you are at least, doing okay, all things being equal. So to be at 1287, where you have a sales price of 73,000, puts you above that 1% rule. Now you'd have to do a cash flow analysis, and certainly if you do something traditional like 25% down, 20% down on a purchase, 20% down, you're putting down 15,000 roughly. 25% down, you're probably going to put down, somewhere around 18,000, 18,500 in that range, and you'll definitely be able to cash flow significantly, on a mortgage of that amount. And so it could be a strong, cash flow, a cash monthly type deal. So, depending on your goals, if you're looking for long-term cash flow, if you're looking for, a good solid long-term hold, this could be a deal, especially if the seller is willing to seller finance some of that equity required, that 20 or 25% that you have to put down. Okay, so any questions on this before we move on? This could be a very solid deal for those people looking to cash flow. Probably not, a flip deal for people looking to flip, because the owner is looking to sell, at a value that is, maybe not consistent for a flip. So David says it's a deal. You could also fix and flip it, add a second bathroom and finish the basement. 160 comp on Luzerne, 2-bedroom, two bath for 1,000 square feet. So yeah, it was in the replay. You'll have to watch the replay, Kevin. I don't have the replay handy, but it looks like it could be a deal. It could be a flip as well. But doing a flip, Davis, means you'd have to evict the tenant, and that may take some time to evict the tenant. So if you bought at 73, what's the holding cost to evict the tenant to then be able to flip it? So, could be one where, Davis, maybe it has some upside potential. Could be the best of both worlds, right? You buy it, cash flow it for, a couple of years. When the tenant's ready to move out, you let the tenant move out, and then you flip it knowing you have upside of sales comps of 160, as you just said, Luzerne right around the corner at 160. So this looks like it could be a deal where you get cash flow monthly, and also could get some cash later by doing a cash out refi, or also maybe once the tenant moves out, you don't extend the lease, you let them vacate, and then you fix it up and then sell for a flip. So looks like that one could be a deal. Again, if you are looking to get started in the business, if you're looking to take your business to the next level, we can help you with putting together a strategic plan to make sure you have the right strategy to approach getting either your first deal done or your next deal done, to cash flow, cash now, cash monthly, or cash later. You can get on my calendar at reigoals.com. That's reigoals.com. So if you're out there, YouTube University, Google University, trying to self-train yourself, to how to get started in this business, how to find deals, how to creatively structure deals, how to raise money to get deals done. We can help you build a strategic plan to put all that in place. You can get on my calendar at reigoals.com. That's reigoals.com. Go ahead and throw it in the live chat. If you have any questions before we move on, we're going to go ahead and then move on. I love the engagement. Good feedback there, Davis, Stacy, and Michael. I love the engagement. Any questions before we move on? It looks like this definitely may be a deal. Remember, this is also an investor owner who's also a lender. So he also can seller finance on this deal as well. So again, could be a good deal there. So we'll go ahead and throw this in the live chat, and then we'll move on to the next deal here. All right, let's